Welcome back to my channel, Diamond Babes. So that's exactly what they're gonna look like. So these are the ones that I made so far. So I have this one and this one. So this one I made for my little sister. So it's gonna have, I'm gonna show you guys how to make the two different colors on here. So you're gonna have inside fabric and then the outside fabric. So you always want your outside fabric to be basically a pattern like, and then the inside you want it to be like solid. And the same thing, see, it's a solid on the inside and then the fabric pattern on the outside. You always want to make sure you're using 100% cotton. So I went fabric quarter. So this is what it looks like. This is called the fabric quarter, and you see, as you can see on there, it says 100% cotton. So that's what it looks like. And then it's 18 inches by 21 inches. So this is how it comes. Got this from Joann's. Joann is like the best place to get fabric from because they have so much different variety, and then when you get it, it's gonna come with the sticker already on there, and it's sticked on both sides. And I believe these are like $2.99, and Joann's is always having a sale on their fabric, so you're gonna find a lot of good fabric, especially 100% cotton. Even if you're buying it by the yard, they're having sales on those for like they even have some for like $4.99, like the solid colors. And then the pattern colors, you're always gonna find those in different prices just because the pattern ones are kind of, you know, a little bit more pricier just because they're nicer. And I'm not saying you can't go to Walmart and get it. You can go to sizes. One is bigger than the other. And the reason for that is this is your outside pattern piece. This is your solid piece. So this is the inside piece, which is a smaller piece. So you're gonna have you're gonna cut two of those as well. So this is the one that will go on this fabric, and then this one is the one that would go on whatever pattern piece fabric you want to get. And you're gonna cut it on the folded part of your fabric, because if you cut it while it's folded, you'll get your two pieces. Once you get your two pieces, you're gonna go ahead and take the pins, remove all your pins out of the fabric and out of the out of that piece, out of that diagram or whatever you're using to trace or copy. You're gonna go ahead and remove the pins out of it, and then once you have two of my solid and two of my pattern. So that's what you're gonna have. So you're gonna have two small pieces and two large pieces. I already went ahead and cut them because all you're doing is just that. You're just gonna lay them on the, my bad. It's supposed to be like this, my bad, y'all. I keep reading it wrong. So this is how you read it. So this is from your nose to your chin. And then that's how you get that. So this is from your nose to your chin. This is from your ear to your mouth. And then you have that one piece down here to get your chin part. So that's how you read this diagram. You're gonna go ahead and fold it where you see that those two lines. You're gonna fold it there, and that's how you're gonna get your inside piece. So it's basically just half of the top. So that's how you're gonna get that piece. And cut my fabric ahead of time. But if you guys want to see me cut it in front of you and all that, then I'll go ahead and make the video if you guys suggest it, and add it to the comments, and then I'll go ahead and make another video for you guys to see that in a more detailed video. So these are the inside because they're solid. So this white paper that you see here is called an interfacing stabilizer. So you're gonna need that. And I'm telling you right now, it's very, very hard to find right now. So yeah, it's really extremely hard to find right now because everybody, I'm talking about everybody and their mama, trying to make masks. They trying to make their own masks because look what's going around. Like you're not gonna be able to find those paper masks that everybody. All right, so what I was talking about was like these are the cheaper ones, but it's hard to find them anywhere. So, and if you do find them, they're like overpriced, or they're asking for you to get them in like a box or whatever. So everybody's trying to make their own masks, and they're learning all this from all these other YouTubers that are posting that they're making masks and how to make it and everything like that. So I'm gonna be using my Singer Soulmate machine, and I will make sure to leave everything that I use, all the materials I use, in the description down below. And like I said, if you guys want a more detailed video of me cutting the interface stabilizer, me placing them like this, me cutting the fabric, if y'all want a more detailed video of me doing everything step by step, go ahead and comment down below, so that way I can make another video showing you guys, instead of just having the material ready and showing you guys how I sew it from there. But okay, from that part, let's finally get on to this video. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut my machine on. Y'all hear it make a little physique sound or whatever, make this little sound, and then I'm gonna start with this curvy side first. So we're gonna sew the curvy side. So I'm gonna go ahead and place it underneath the machine. Make sure that it starts sewing all the way to the edge, because if it doesn't start sewing all the way to the edge, you're gonna have it coming out and you don't want that. So I'm gonna go ahead and press this lever here. I wish I... All right, so we're gonna start on this curvy side. Make sure we're sewing everything down from edge to edge and on the side. And then that's how the stitching should look once you're done. So you sew from the curvy, and you got the back stitch here, and you're gonna sew all the way right there and back stitch there. And then you're gonna take your scissors, you're gonna have 2 threads, because you're gonna have one for your top stitch, which is your needle thread, and then you're gonna have your back thread, which is your bobbin thread. So you want to make sure you cut those long pieces as close as you can get it, as short as you can get. Okay, so now that we got that part done, so you see that I clipped these separated, because we're gonna go ahead and stitch those parts. So I'm gonna put one flap down, and we're gonna sew on one flap. Side that we got sewed down nice and neat, and the thread matches it perfectly. So I like using thread that matches what I'm going to be sewing on. If it doesn't match the material you're sewing on, people are going to notice it or see it. Is stitched, our smaller piece is stitched from the corner all the way to the other side, so the curvy side all the way to the back, which is this back part here. And then it's also sewed on our flaps here and there, and then so you want to make sure both flaps are sewed down. And the reason why I started, now we're going to the longer piece. And the longer piece, all you have to do is sew just... So now, what you're going to do is you're going to take this piece and you're going to flip it inside out. Okay. You could use an iron to press inside and press it around and iron it down so it'll stay, but I normally just give it a good press all the way around and I'm good. And you want basically those, you want it to make sure it matches, so the curvy with the curvy. So find the curvy, there's the curvy, you put the curvy with the curvy, and you want to go ahead and just take your finger and just snug it in there. So what I'm gonna do is go ahead and clip the middle, and then we're gonna clip this back part all the way here, and you're gonna sew here. You can either sew it once or you can sew it twice. I sew it once. So see, you sew that top as close as possible, And then this is the part I was talking about that you want to make sure you sew down, which is that front flap. You want to get this as close as possible to this front flap. So that's looking like. Okay. So, all right. And then once you get that, you're going to go ahead and pull both pieces out. And then you're going to take one side, so I'll take this side, and I'm going to basically push it inside and find it on the other side. So I push this side in, and you're basically going to go ahead and pull it out on the other side. So pulling it out the second hole, and that's what's going to flip it inside out so you can see what the mask looks like with the pattern piece on the front and the solid piece on the inside. That's what it's looking like. So that's how you get your solid inside piece and your pattern outside piece. So, and you're going to go ahead and fold the flaps. Well, pin the flaps, my bad. Be careful, because the pins. This part, stitching twice is going to be good because it's going to have maximum security to make sure everything is stitched together perfectly fine. And you're going to sew just like that. And then I'm going to do the same thing on this side, but you got to make sure you do it twice. You want to make sure both sides are sewed nice and neat twice. I've been sewed twice, so as you can see, the stitching is on here 2 times. And I did these with straight stitches. So on the back, you can see a better view of both stitching. So, and they're both pretty close to the edge. So that's exactly what I'm going to do on this. So twice, and it's the same thing that I've done on this. This one you probably can see the 2 stitching a little bit better than the brown one since it's a little darker, and then that's the inside. See, double stitch, double stitch. You can't see it on the front side. It blends in so well, but it's double stitch as you guys can see from this part. On the outside you can't see it, but on the inside you can see it. Double stitch, double stitch. So now your last part is now you're gonna put the ponytail holders. And the reason why I'm using ponytail holders is because if you try looking for that the elastic bands, good luck. Once you put it on, you're gonna fold it once, like so. Once you fold it that one time, you're going to fold it again, but you're gonna pull the ponytail holder closer so it's going in that second fold. So in the second fold, you're gonna fold over. Make sure you do not fold all the way over because you do not want to close this opening right here. So you see that little white space you see right here? There's an opening right here. This is the opening where you see my fingers going up and down. That's the opening. So that way, if you can stick this inside of that opening, I'll show you guys what it'll look like exactly after I'm done pinning the sides down. So I'm gonna go ahead and pin this down because this is, we're gonna go ahead and do this last stitch, and that's how the ponytail holder is gonna stay in there. So you're gonna do the same thing on the second side. So you're just gonna fold once, and then once you fold that one time, you'll pull the ponytail holder up, and you're gonna pull the ponytail holder up so that when you fold the second time, the ponytail holder is in that second fold. Once it's in that second fold, you're gonna take a pin, you're gonna place the pin in, it comes out on the other side, and what you're gonna do is you're gonna sew up and down. You're gonna sew those flaps closed. So you're gonna sew up and down. You're gonna sew those flaps closed, but you want to sew as close as possible to that ponytail holder. So about exactly where you put that pin, you're gonna sew right about there so that the ponytail holder still has room to move, but then these flaps are closed so that they don't move and open up, and then the ponytail holder comes out. So the opening that I was talking about, they have 2 openings on both sides, which are right here. So these are your 2 openings on both sides. So with those 2 openings, for extra protection, and so you don't have to just wear this, you stick this mask inside so you can have more layer of protection, because the stabilizers are not gonna be your layer of protection. They're part of what goes inside of the mask, but it's better for you to put a mask inside. The N95 won't fit in here, because it might fit in here. I haven't tried it yet, but your best bet is to basically use one of these, a nicer, flatter one that's easier to go in, because the N95 is kind of a bit bulky already when it comes in, when you get it, because it's going to be bulky right here. So you can try, but I prefer to use that mask to stick in there. So we're going to go ahead and stick this underneath. And once I get the foot where I need it, I'm going to go ahead and take the pin out. So it's where I need it. I'm going to go ahead and pull that pin out, place it back into my apple. And we're going to make sure that it is close enough to the elastic, but we're not going to sew. It's close enough to the ponytail holder, but we're not going to sew the ponytail holder. We want to sew next to the ponytail holder. So that way the ponytail holder stays in place. And we want the ponytail holder to stay in place, and then we also want the flaps to stay in place. So the closer you sew to the ponytail holder, not to pick up the ponytail holder. You don't want to pick it up, because then you're gonna mess it up, and you can mess up your needle as well. So you don't want to pick up the ponytail holder. You just want to pick up the you just want to pick up those flaps. So, and make sure you do always hold your 2 pieces of thread together when you're doing the back stitch, and when you finally do like a few initial stitches after you do your back stitch, because if you don't hold it, that one of those threads, most likely the bobbin thread, will start to wind up, and it'll wind up inside the it'll wind up inside the fabric, and then you'll see loops. So it'll wind up inside the fabric, and then you'll end up seeing loops. And then once you see loops, that's how you know that one of your thread got caught, because you weren't holding it while you were back stitching and then sewing. So you just want to back stitch and hold your 2 pieces of thread while you hit the back stitch button. So make sure my pieces are right. Okay, there we go. So I'm gonna hold my 2 thread pieces together, back stitch, and then hold it again, back stitch, and then place it right on the fabric. Hold it again, back stitch. Let's see. Trying to make sure we're getting it exactly where it needs to go. Back stitch. Back stitch. Perfect. Now that it's back stitch, now you're gonna go ahead and hold your 2 pieces of thread for a little bit, just till you get your few initial stitches. So you're gonna hold it, and you do this every time you sew, not just because I'm saying it now. I just forgot to mention it, but make sure you're holding it so you don't get any loops or tags or snags. And you hold it, let go. So once you let it go, you already have your few initial stitches, and you can just go ahead and keep sewing without having to hold the 2 pieces of thread. So now I'm sewing all the way up and down, all the way till I get to that end. Make sure you do not sew the ponytail holder because you will mess up your needle. And then back stitch. So not too close to the end because you want to make sure you're back stitching right before you hit the end. So that way that back stitch will go back into the end. The closer it is, the better. That way you got your knot. Go ahead and cut those pieces. Even though I cut them with this cutter, I'm still gonna have to cut them again with the scissor because the cutter sometimes doesn't get close enough, and you don't want to see those pieces sticking out your fabric. So that's what that is looking like. So that's what I mean. You're gonna sew those flaps, and when you sew the flap, you see how close I sewed to the ponytail holder. Ponytail holder can still move. Oops, sorry, I'm holding a thread and it's not moving. But it can still move. And you see you pulling it and it's doing the elastic just like the elastic band would. It's doing the same ruffle. So now I'm gonna go ahead and cut these two pieces. Alright, and then we're gonna go on to the next side. And after that, your mask is guys what it looks like to add a mask inside. So see, I have my openings like so. So like if you do this, look at that, that's the opening. And then opening. So that's what you want. So you put your stabilizer on one side and you take the mask. Make sure it's on the right side. And stick it on the end of this. And then you want to take your mask. Stick it there. And then you want to keep pushing it. Push it. And then find a safety pin on this side. Which is right there. And there she goes. So now your mask is on both sides. And then all you have to do is just adjust it so that it's nice and straight. Voila! That's how you have a safety mask. And you just tug the ends inside so no one sees the ends for you for the rest of the day. And you just put it on your face like this. Put it over your ears, over your ear, and there you go. So thanks for tuning in and watching, Diamond Babes, and I'll see you guys on the next one.
Who gon' handle me? A whole lot of options, cause you know a bitch poppin'. I'm a hot girl, so you know when shit's poppin'.